মধ্যে গুড কামব্যাক ফর দ্য বোলার, দারুণ মাপালেতের একটা ডেলিভারি ছিল, একেবারে স্টাম্পের মধ্যে ইউ মিস আই হিট এই ধরনের একটা ডেলিভারি তিনি করেছিলেন এবং লক্ষ্যত ভঙ্গিতে খেলতে পারতেন। দারুণ ডেলিভারি দুটো চার খাওয়ার পর আবার একটা কামব্যাক অত্যন্ত এক্সপিরিয়েন্স থেকে আপনারা জানেন
Where's it pitching? More than 3 metres down and hitting. So umpire's call would have remained because Aaron Finch was so far down the wicket. Dylan could review, they would have retained it. Smith, sort of an impact can he have on this side? Can he get an opportunity?
Yeah, could have a big impact because I think this battle will be when the spinners come on, Sodhi and Santner. There's an area of weakness in this Australian batting lineup, it's against spin.
Single off the last and 10 from the over, 11 without loss.
Even in that run chase.
Roasted peanut আর pure বাটারের আনবিটেবল স্বাদে পেলামে পিনাট বাইট কুকিজ, প্রতি বাইটে স্বাদের ম্যাজিক।
দেশের একমাত্র 100% পিওর ভ্যাসলিন পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলি, ত্বকের যত্নে মায়ের স্পর্শের মতোই বিশুদ্ধ।
Kiwis in the house, Aussies in the house. And a good crowd has built up actually. A while to come into the stadium.
Finch just needs a boundary to get going. He's had a quiet time of it, but he's a high-class player. We've already seen one captain find his form. Just one boundary, get him going. Got in, got out, got a duck against South Africa. There you see just the drop-off of late.
One's away. That might be the boundary that gets him going, Nasser.
Absolutely. He's too good a player to keep quiet, and he believes himself, backs himself. Again, he charges Bolt. Bolt's going to have to watch his feet.
I think
it's a bit of a slower ball, a bit of a cutter.
A knuckleball. Quite come out as slowly as Bolt would have liked. Great use of the feet from Aaron Finch. There is a man out there. Can he get to it? He can. He's got great hands, but Dylan Mitchell. That is a wonderful catch. Bolt strikes. Finch goes early.
They've been quite brilliant in the field, New Zealand. They have been the fielding outfit of the tournament. If it's up, it's usually out. They don't drop many. Saw him coming this time. Dragged it down. Finch dragged it leg side. Daryl Mitchell just scooped on it. They don't drop many. Big wicket, skipper's gone. He made 5, it's 15 for 1.
এনসি সুপার কোয়ালিটি হাইব্রিড ধান বীজ চমকরাজ।
এনএসি ন্যাশনাল এগ্রিকালচার এসে স্বপ্ন ফলায়।
কিন্তু প্যানেলের গ্যারান্টি শুধুমাত্র কঙ্কা এলজিটি দিচ্ছে প্যানেলের 4 বছরের গ্যারান্টি। বুঝতেই পারছেন কি হবে স্মার্ট ডিসিশন। কঙ্কা সাথে মধ্যে সবটুকু
করা যায় তাহলে স্টিল আমার মনে হয় নিউজিল্যান্ডের এই ম্যাচ জেতার একটা সম্ভাবনা চান্স কিন্তু রয়েছে। ওভারে 14th বল করার জন্য যাচ্ছেন ওখানে, বল করলেন মাপালেকদের ডেলিভারি স্টাম্পের উপরে ওয়ার্নার ছিলেন ব্যাটসম্যান রক্ষণাত্মকভাবে খেললেন কোন রান কিন্তু এই বলে হলো না
It's been crossed while the ball was in the air, so Mitchell Marsh not on strike. David Warner is.
দেখা যাক কতটা
That was very wide, about a 4/5 slip.
টিম ফ্যাক্টর রয়েছে বল যেভাবে তিনি স্কিট করলেন তাতে মনে হলো
Very good from Bolt. The thing about this New Zealand side is how smart they are. He knew the charge was coming again. This time he dragged his length back. He said, "You're going to have to pull me for 6." Saw him coming, bounced him, catch taken.
ঠিকভাবে বুঝতে পারেননি ডেভিড ওয়ার্নার একটু ইম্প্রোভাইজ করে অনসাইডে খেলতে চেয়েছিলেন 136 কিলোমিটার/আওয়ার বেগে এই ডেলিভারিটি দিয়েছিলেন পরবর্তীতে মিড অনে ফিল্ডিং হয়ে
New Zealand cricket summed up smart and skill.
ব্যাটসম্যানের আইসিসি টি20 র্যাঙ্কিং এ 26 নম্বরে রয়েছেন এবারে বিশ্বকাপে 108 রান করেছেন এই পর্যন্ত একটি 50 রয়েছে তার 53 সেরা ইনিংস মিচেল মার্শের
Just a little bit of pace off perhaps from Bolt.
ওয়েস্ট ইন্ডিজের বিরুদ্ধে তবে সেমিফাইনালে কিন্তু 22 বল খেলে 28 রান করেছেন
One good thing is that the skipper, Kane Williamson, has batted for a long time on this pitch, as we see Mitchell Marsh come in at the other end, non-striker's end. But Williamson knows exactly where to bowl on this surface. He batted on it for a long time. Great asset to have.
Nice from Trent Bolt. Picked up his first. At the end of 3, it's 15 for 1.
বিকাশে খরচ কমছে ক্যাশ আউট 1014 টাকা 90 পয়সা
আমাদের বেকম্যান দেওয়া আছে কিছু সুপার পাওয়ার বেস্ট ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস বেস্ট অটোমেটিক মেশিন খুব বেশি একটাই ঘরে ঘরে এমন অসাধারণ কিছু মুহূর্ত তৈরি করা ইটস আ বেকম্যানস ক্রিয়েশন
করেছিল 172 চার উইকেটে বিশ্বকাপে অ্যাডাম মিলনে এই ডানহাতি ফাস্ট বোলার তিনি এসেছেন এর আগে 3 উইকেট পেয়েছেন 5টি ম্যাচে খেলে 17 রানে 1 উইকেট এবারে বিশ্বকাপে তার সেরা পারফরম্যান্স ওভার উইকেট যাচ্ছেন এবং প্রথম বলটি কিন্তু
Key man for New Zealand to get to this final. It's not his night tonight with the bat, but already played a little part in the field so far and a million into the attack now. I think this is a key moment too. The pace of Adam Milne, Mitchell Marsh is such a fine player. Really good striker of quick bowling. Like that. What a start that is.
My God. Welcome to the final, Mitch Marsh. There's one thing liking pace on. There's another thing just bolting your first delivery of a final into row Z. This is not a small ground. This is just picked up as easy as you like.
Yeah, top tier, it's angled and it's in at leg stump. And Marsh has just pounced on it. Top tier, I think. He loves it, loves pace on. He doesn't mind spin either. He's such a big lad. Very, very good player. He's missed far too much cricket through injury to be been missed. And that might be 4 as well. Controlled. Very good from Marsh to start.
Yeah, played that well in the end. You think of the Mitchell dismissal, the way he nicked it. He just waited on this a little bit longer and opened the face and ran it down. That's the thing with pace on, it can go in various areas. He's already gone over square leg. Now fine for 4.
মিচেল মার্শ মিলনের আরেকটা যেটা বড় সমস্যা আমার কাছে মনে হয় যে তিনি একটু ইন্টেন্স টু বোল শট
Pulls again, that'll be 4 more. Taking a liking to Milne.
Got a ball Fulton, he is just waiting for that pull. He sits on that front foot, rocks back and pulls it away. He's one of the great pullers of a white ball. He's got to go fuller, he can't be back of the length. Front foot, there, press back, bang.
It's a great example of that Australian way, isn't it? Almost that pull shot that so many in the past have played well. No matter how quick you are, he'll still take you on. Pinch 1 here. He's got that license to Nasser to just go out and continue to play, continue to be aggressive. The insurance that you talked about of the batsman to come.
Yeah, absolutely. And the confidence, seen the way Stoinis and Wade have already won Australia a couple of games in this tournament. So he has got license.
প্রথম ডট বল এই ওভারে 119 কিলোমিটার পার আওয়ার বেগে। আলবাত ওই যে একটু স্লোয়ার এবং এখানে কিন্তু ফ্রুটফুল হলো। ডেভিড ওয়ার্নার কিন্তু বিঘিতে যেতে পারলেন না।
আমাদের কাছে যে জিনিসটা ধরা পড়ছে আমি জানি না দলের যে ক্যাপ্টেন রয়েছেন তার মাথায় জিনিসগুলো আসছে কিনা, যে গতিতে যে গতি কমিয়ে বল করতে হবে, এই পরামর্শটা আমার মনে হয়
এই পরামর্শটা আগে দিলে তো সবাই বয়স্ক
New Zealand, remember, took to Australia's fastest bowler. Mitchell Stark went the distance tonight. So far, Milne doing the same. 6 first up, lovely controlled little guide down towards the third boundary, and then a very powerful pull shot. Not bad praise coming from that man tonight.
তাদেরকে আরো 143 রান করতে হবে 96 বল থেকে।
Can't get it through, finishes better than he started, Milne, 30 for 1.
কারেন্ট রান রেট এই মুহূর্তে 7.5 এবং রিকোয়ার্ড রান রেট প্রায় 9 এর কাছাকাছি 8.93। অর্থাৎ এখনো পর্যন্ত নিউজিল্যান্ড দল যদি লাইন লেন্থ বজায় রেখে বল করতে পারে অন্তত
বিকাশে ক্যাশ আউট চার্জ কমছে আর সেট মানে তো ফ্রি,
তাহলে কিন্তু তাদের পক্ষে সম্ভব এই ফাইনাল জেতা। নিউজিল্যান্ডের একটা ফাইনাল জিতুক এরকম কিন্তু অনেকেই চাচ্ছে।
ঠিক তাই, একটা চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপ তারা জিতেছে আইসিসি হবে, তবে টি20তে ওডিআইতে তারা দুর্ভাগ্য ছিল, সুতরাং এটা তারা জিতেও যেতে পারে। বলতে বলতে পরের বল টিম সাউথ এশিয়ার বোলার ব্যাক অফ ডেলিভারি লেগ স্টাম্পের উপরে
Power to come. Maxwell in particular, along with Stoinis. A quiet tournament with the bat, Glenn Maxwell.
2 men out now for that pull and hook. I reckon they'll still bowl it reasonably short, but they may take pace off here. Saudi might bowl cutters into the pitch.
স্মার্টনেস হয়তো বা ইংরেজির সাথে সাথে জাহেল কিছু ব্যাপার থাকতে পারে। পঞ্চম ওভারের খেলা চলছে, 31 এক উইকেট অস্ট্রেলিয়া। টিম সাউদি দৌড় শুরু করেছেন ওভার পরের বলটি করার জন্য। ডেভিড ওয়ার্নার বাহাতি ব্যাটসম্যান প্রস্তুত। পুল শট খেলতে চাইলেন বটে, জুৎসই পুল খেলতে পারলেন না। ব্যাকওয়ার্ড স্কোয়ার লেগে দুজন ফিল্ডার ফিল্ড করলেন, একবারের জন্য দুই ব্যাটসম্যান জায়গা।
He's gone into your room and nicked one of your shirts, Simon Dole. Look at that for an outfit.
মাঠগুলো দেখলে কিন্তু মনে হয় যে আসলে কেমন।
Maybe he needs to borrow me gold tooth.
বড় বড় গ্যালারি না বানিয়ে আমরা যদি 64টা জেলা।
Tell you what he could though, Nas, because my door hasn't locked for 2 weeks.
গ্যালারি হয়তো থাকবে না, তবে চমৎকার গ্রাউন্ড, চমৎকার উইকেট,
Little underage
64টা জেলায়
from
নিয়মিত
Warner.
খেলা হবে, তাহলে কিন্তু ক্রিকেটার বেরিয়ে আসতো।
আমি কিন্তু ওই নিউজিল্যান্ডের যে তুমি ধরো যে মাঠগুলোতে যে ঘাস, ওইরকম ঘাস কিন্তু আমাদের দেশে দেখি না। আমাদের ঘাসগুলো কিন্তু মোটা মোটা হয়, এই যে দুবলা ঘাস যেটা, সেই রকম ঘাসগুলো পারি কিন্তু
Surely give us some confirmation of Marsh's strike rate against pace. Look at that, 143. Spin might be an opportunity for Mitchell Santner, but then it maybe plays into the hands of David Warner, so a conundrum for Williamson.
That's why I asked him at the toss, because he had to look after Santner against England in the semi-final with all those left-handers, the likes of Moeen, Milan, Morgan coming. Santner just bowled one over in the semi. So what does he do with the left-hand right? Does he go Santner? Does he go Sodhi with Googlies to the left-hander? Santner's been told to warm up. That's why Warner staying in is vital for for Australia.
Yeah, I know sometimes analytics can go over the top, and I just wonder whether at times through this tournament they have. Moeen Ali not bowling at all, and the game against South Africa.
Yeah, I completely agree. You've got to have a gut feel as a captain as well, and you've got to say to your bowler, I know the stats are against you, but go and get the player out. Give him a chance first. I think times in this tournament they've gone with the analytics and just take bowlers completely out of the equation.
That has swung beautifully. Pace off from Saudi, but Warner says have some of that. Into the crowd.
New Zealand have got to decide when they're becoming too predictable with their lengths. They are bowling it short, they are taking pace off, but now Warner's just waiting. He's waiting, he knows what's coming, back of the length, pace off, and he's going to belt it. It's one thing having a plan, it's when that plan becomes too predictable.
অস্ট্রেলিয়া এবং আপনার মনে আছে নিশ্চয়ই যে 8 ওভারে 40 রান করেছিলেন নিউজিল্যান্ড,
So powerful, David Warner.
এরা কিন্তু 5 ওভার শেষে কিন্তু করে ফেলেছে এতগুলো রান, সুতরাং অনেকটা
And out towards the sweeper on the offside. Just be the one to finish with another good over, 10 runs from it. 40 for 1 after 5.
তার উইকেটের কথা কিন্তু বারবার আমরা বলেছি। হান্নানের সাথে যখন আলাপ করছিলাম,
ডেলিভারি নেওয়ার পরই লাইভ বয় হ্যান্ডওয়াশ দিয়ে হাত ধরে থাকুন সুরক্ষায় 10-10।
দাঁতের শীর্ষের অনুভূতি থেকে আরাম পেতে ডেন্টিস্টরা সেন্সোডাইন ব্যবহারের পরামর্শ দেন।
ও অনার হইল যদি হয় তাড়াতাড়ি তাই দেবে তোর মোবাইলটা ও তুমি দেখতেছ
scored a lot of their runs at the back end through the brilliance of Kane Williamson. There's so much in this final already. You wonder why we love this game so much. This match itself is answering a lot of those questions. There's so much tonight already. Some brilliance in the field, and Williamson was excellent with the bat. Australia, in reply with the bat, are on their way. Warner is crucial for both sides. Good evening, Ian.
Hello, Natalie. Hello, everyone, once again. Yeah. The impact of Warner, in theory, if he spends time there, could impact when Mitchell Santner comes into the attack, if he comes into the attack a little bit, maybe towards Isodi, maybe less so. But some of the intent so far from Mitchell Marsh has been good, so far. Can change in a ball here.
He has hit 2 fours and 6 already in his short innings. He's added something to this innings. He's certainly been a good partner to Warner, who picked that slow ball up so early. He's in such a good position to play that shot. Waited for it, picked up the pace early. It's a long, long way.
ঠিক তাই, রেকর্ড রান রেট কিন্তু এখনো 9-এর ঘরেই রয়েছে। কারণ রান রেট 7.6 নিশ্চয়ই বলা যায় খুবই হেলদি, খুবই ভালো। 87 বল থেকে 131 রান এখনো করতে হবে এই ম্যাচ জিততে হলে। মিলের ওভারের পরে বল এবারে
Last over of the power play when New Zealand was batting was good for the bowling side, and now at the start of this is the 6th over and the last over of the power play, good for the bowling side again.
সুতরাং একটি বাউন্সার যে অ্যালাউ করা যায় সেটা হয়ে গেল।
ঠিক তাই, একটা ভালো ডেলিভারি বলতে হবে অন্তত ব্যাটসম্যানদেরকে শর্ট খেলা থেকে বিরত রাখার জন্য। এই ধরনের কিছু ভেরিয়েশনস কিন্তু খুবই কার্যকর প্রমাণ হতে পারে। 86 বল থেকে 132 রান করতে হবে।
Opting for shorter delivery in this over, going into the pitch with his high pace.
দ্বিতীয় ওভারটি করছেন, প্রথম ওভার থেকে তিনি রান দিয়েছিলেন 15টি। এই ওভারে 4টি ডেলিভারি থেকে এখনো পর্যন্ত
And that one at 141 kilometers an hour. Excellent line as well. Spoke about the ball not really shooting through in the first innings. Well, with his extra pace, it's a decent carry from him and a bit of bounce.
19 রানে পৌঁছে গেলেন, 20টি বল খেলেছেন এই পর্যন্ত এবং দলীয় সংগ্রহ বেড়ে দাঁড়ালো 43। 1 উইকেটে অস্ট্রেলিয়া।
খুবই ভালো ফুটওয়ার্ক রয়েছে বলতে হবে। আমি বলবো ওয়ার্নারের এই মুহূর্তে তিনি যেভাবেই খেলতে চাচ্ছেন সেভাবেই কিন্তু হয়েই যাচ্ছে। একটা সিরিজ আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি পয়েন্টস টেবিলে
Played that pretty well in the end.
নিউজিল্যান্ডের 119 পয়েন্ট নিয়ে উপরে
A
রয়েছে,
bit of a risk in the shot.
তারপরে 90 পয়েন্ট নিয়ে রয়েছেন তৃতীয় স্থানে। বলতে বলতে পরে বল এবারে কিন্তু অ্যাঙ্গেল সৃষ্টি করে ভেতর থেকে ঢোকা।
Well, we witnessed something very special tonight, and not surprising that Kane Williamson is on the top of the fantasy league points from the first innings. In this match, it was a very, very special innings by the captain, who hadn't been in his best of form coming into the game. And it wasn't easy scoring either. What a way to finish the power play. 43 for 1.
দেশের একমাত্র 100% পিওর ভ্যাসলিন পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলি ত্বকের যত্নে মায়ের স্পর্শের মতোই বিশুদ্ধ।
আমাদের বেকমেনরা আছে বিকজ সুপার পাওয়ার বেস্ট ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস বেস্ট অটোমেটিক মেশিন উদ্দেশ্য একটাই ঘরে ঘরে এমন অসাধারণ কিছু মুহূর্ত তৈরি করা ইটস আ বেকমেনস ক্রিয়েশন।
কন্টিনিউয়াসলি অনেকগুলো ওভার যদি আপনাকে
ডেলিভারি নেওয়ার পরই লাইফ বয় হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ দিয়ে হাত ধুয়ে থাকুন, সুরক্ষায় 10,000।
বিকাশে খরচ কমছে, ক্যাশ আউট 1014 টাকা 90 পয়সা।
His partnership is now with 28 for Australia. It's come off 21 deliveries. Now with an opportunity to spread the field, first 6 overs done, and have 5 outside the 30-yard circle. Ishodi is going to be coming in now. This will be very interesting to see what he bowls to Warner. Warner is really good with the ball coming into his pads. Needs a protection on the leg side with backward square leg mid wicket and long on the boundary. So, yeah, this could be a very interesting matchup between the two.
It will be. It's fascinating watching Glenn Phillips and how quick he is across the ground.
এই রানটির সুবাদে দলের সংগ্রহ বাড়লো 45 এক উইকেট অস্ট্রেলিয়া। ঈশ্বরদী তিনি পাকিস্তানের বিরুদ্ধে 4 ওভার বল করে 28 রান দিয়ে 2 উইকেট পেয়েছিলেন। ভারতের বিরুদ্ধে 17 রানে 2 উইকেট, স্কটল্যান্ডের বিরুদ্ধে 42 রানে 2 উইকেট, 13 রানে 1 উইকেট ছিল নামিবিয়ার বিরুদ্ধে এবং আফগানিস্তানের বিরুদ্ধে ছিল, এছাড়া সাউথ ইংল্যান্ডের বিরুদ্ধে সেমিফাইনালে ছিল 32 রানে 1 উইকেট।
Oh, should be pretty happy to give the strike to Warner as well in this situation. This could be one of his strengths. Period where the batting side would love to take advantage of anything loose. Run rate up. Don't allow it to get away from you too much. That's what he's going to be probably looking to do against Sodi. Warner is so quick between the wickets. That's brilliant running, good calling as well. To play into the leg side, length easily allows him to do that. Some brilliant running between the wickets.
ঠিক তাই এই যে নিউজিল্যান্ডে যে বোলিং হয়েছে ঈশ্বরী, সেখানে আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি 56% বল তারা কিন্তু শর্ট লেংথ এবং করেছে, লেংথ ডেলিভারি ছিল 33%। যাচ্ছে এখানে পরবর্তী করার জন্য এবারে কিন্তু একটা ফুলার লেংথের ডেলিভারি।
Tall leg spinner Ishodi, what's he done in the tournament so far, Natalie? His wickets have come in a length and back of a length. Just one slider way up there on the right of that pitch map. Googly, but however much it's turned or not turned, hasn't brought success yet. According to ball tracking anyway. He's been bowled into the pitch.
সেখানে ফিল্ডার রয়েছেন, কুড়িয়ে ফেরত দেবেন, তারই ফাঁকে একটি রান তিনি পৌঁছে গেলেন ব্যক্তিগত 24 রান। 24 বল খেলে 24টি রান
Point run rate is really something to worry about right now. You've got wickets in hand. Warner still at the crease as well.
অস্ট্রেলিয়া তাদের জয়ের জন্য কিন্তু লক্ষ্যমাত্রা 173 ওভারে খেলা কিন্তু হয়েছে, মোটামুটি ভাবে অনেকটাই কামব্যাক করেছে নিউজিল্যান্ডে। তো বলতে
That single will bring up the 50 for Australia after 7 overs. They're off 50 for 1.
অস্ট্রেলিয়া বোধহয় যেভাবে শুরু করলো, বিশেষ করে ওয়ার্নার, তাতে ম্যাচটা হয়তো দ্রুতই তারা আগের দিকে চলে যাবে, কিন্তু এখন আবার কিছুটা হলেও
শীর্ষের অনুভূতিকে দ্রুত হার মানান সেন্সোডাইন র্যাপিড রিলিফের সঙ্গে।
বিকাশে ক্যাশ আউট চার্জ কমছে আর সেভ মানে তো ফ্রি।
করায় আবার এভারেজটা অনেকটাই পেছনের দিকে টেনে আনতে সক্ষম হয়েছে। স্যান্টার, আমি যে কথা বারবার বলেছি, এই দুইজন স্পিনার যদি ভালো বল করতে পারে নিউজিল্যান্ড হয়ে, তাহলে কিন্তু এই ম্যাচ অস্ট্রেলিয়ার জন্য ডিফিকাল্ট হতে পারে। স্যান্টার অত্যন্ত অ্যাকুরেট লেংথে তিনি বল করেন। দেখা যাক আজকে
7 overs bowled in this chase of the final, the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2021, and now it's time for Mitch Santner.
কাভার বলটাকে খেলে দিয়েছেন, এক রানের জন্য কিন্তু জায়গা বদল হলো। যেভাবে এগিয়ে এসছেন ওখানে ওয়ার্নার, যদি বল
Struggling with his balance a little bit. I hope he has those all to himself.
সন্দেহ নেই লেফট স্পিনার এবারে বিশ্বকাপে কিন্তু এর আগে মাত্র 2টি উইকেট পেয়েছেন। 1 উইকেট পেয়েছিলেন পাকিস্তান
Right, Santner to Warner.
33 রান দিয়ে একটু উইকেট পেয়েছিলেন এবং আরেকটা উইকেট পেয়েছিলেন তিনি নামিবিয়ার বিরুদ্ধে।
Pushed it pretty wide with Santner.
উইকেটটি পেয়েছিলেন। বাকি ম্যাচগুলোতে কিন্তু উইকেট
It's a brave move, it's a bold move.
ইংল্যান্ডের বিরুদ্ধে তাকে মাত্র
Because some of the analytics would perhaps
8টি রান দিয়েছিলেন, উইকেট শূন্য ছিলেন তিনি। 77 বল থেকে 122
not suggest that he bowls while Warner is there, some of the numbers, but Williamson going and trusting his bowler, going with his instinct while Warner is there. 1 over in the game against England in the semi-final.
এবারে কিন্তু বলতে না বলতে কিন্তু বল চলে গেল গ্যালারিতে।
Use angles, Natalie. He's a clever bowler. He can use the angles. He may not spin it a lot.
Just having a little look at the field. The field is on your side behind the square, up in the air really. He has added something to this innings, Mitch Marsh, since he got there. And that is a wonderful shot. We speak about the battle between Warner and Santner. Mitch Marsh wants in on it.
Very good aggressive intent from the word go, and since he's moved to that number 3 position in his T20 career, he's been outstanding. He'll be hoping to kick on. A 25 from 12 for Mitch Marsh, a strike rate of over 200 as it sits right now.
আসলে মিচেল মার্শ তিনি কিন্তু বিঘিতে যাবেন, সেটি মাথায় রেখে কিন্তু মিচেল শার্টনারকে বল করতে হবে। পরের বল এবারে ঘুরিয়েছেন ডেভিড ওয়ার্নার উইকেটের দিকে।
Santner could also see this possibly as an opportunity because Warner now going at a runner ball. Hasn't been able to get off to a quick start. Let's have a look at that position he gets into. It's premeditated in many ways. Brilliantly played. Is this maybe an opportunity for New Zealand and Santner against Warner, who's been kept relatively quiet in this innings? Well, that one pretty quick, Santner. That one 99 kilometers an hour. Marsh going at an excellent rate, 26 of 13. It's well bowled in the end. It's a bit brave, but it's well bowled.
A bit of grip and spin, perhaps just out of the foot marks down that end. That's good bounce and turn.
Slower, that one. Maybe that's what he's going to do now against Marsh. Just change the pace a little bit. 60-1.
Roasted peanut আর pure butterের unbeatable স্বাদে পেলামে peanut bite cookies প্রতি বাইটে স্বাদের ম্যাজিক
দেশের একমাত্র 100% পিওর ভ্যাসলিন পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলি ত্বকের যত্নে মায়ের স্পর্শের মতোই বিশুদ্ধ।
বল করেছেন অস্ট্রেলিয়ানদের বিরুদ্ধে, তা কিন্তু বলা যাবে না। পক্ষান্তরে আমি যেটা বারবারই বলতে চাচ্ছি যে ওয়ার্নার তো ফর্মে আছেনই।
Santner's first over went for 10. It's thanks mostly to this man. Mitch Marsh has had his troubles against spin in the tournament, but he's looked a lot more solid today so far against the spin. Look at the tracker and how far it's gone. 83 metres. Struggled against spin through the tournament. He hasn't been dismissed by the Pacers yet. 3 times he's been dismissed by the spinners before this game. He was averaging under 10 even before this game and struggling with his strike rate. So this has been a good turnaround for Marsh in terms of how he's facing the spinners. Steve Smith, he hasn't been in his best form. Right now, these two are taking the pressure off him and the rest of the order. That is a heck of a shot. He's dragged that from right outside the off stump and played it straight.
brings up the 50 partnership between Warner and Mitch Marsh. 35 deliveries. We talked about Sodi as well. He's bowling into the pitch, being a tall man. Very few have been struck off the front foot. That was outstanding.
Trying something different, showing a lot of creativity at the moment is Warner. And it's 2 again for someone who is rapid between the wickets. Does enjoy the ball turning into, this time around, going for reverse lap. And already 7 runs off the shoulder. Oh, nearly got himself into trouble, did Warner. Quickly, that win predictor has changed. It's changed very, very quickly, just with this partnership, just within the last couple of overs, going the way of Australia at the moment. New Zealand need to make the play. Another boundary to Warner. He's just starting to find his range now, and it's ominous signs for the New Zealand captain.
Yeah, perhaps Adam Milne will feel that he could have done a little bit better there. Again, it's short, it's into the pitch from Sodi. Maybe a little bit tough on him. Maybe not a good over for David Warner.
Williamson under a bit of pressure now as regards to what he does with his bowlers. His bowling changes. Warner enjoying the spinners right now. Mitch Marsh is in on it as well. Straight down the ground, as straight as they come. What an over for Australia. They are on their way. 77 for 1.
বিকাশে খরচ কমছে ক্যাশ আউট 1014 টাকা 90 পয়সা
আমাদের বেকম্যানদেরও আছে কিছু সুপার পাওয়ার বেস্ট ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস বেস্ট অটোমেটিক মেশিন উদ্দেশ্য একটাই ঘরে ঘরে এমন অসাধারণ কিছু মুহূর্ত তৈরি করা ইটস আ বেকম্যানস ক্রিয়েশন পকেটে কি
This has been a brilliant partnership for Australia, just what they required. Wasn't one of those pitches that's not that easy to get going straight away. Seem to have adapted now. A lot to do with Mitch Marsh. Took a lot of pressure off Warner. He's played excellent. Warner, well, he's been in superb form. He's continuing tonight. They're going to continue with Santner. Really a clever innings from Warner. And Bishop spoke about him hitting the bowler to bowl where he wants it. Did just that. Wanted it fuller. He got what he wanted. Again, being put under pressure, the New Zealand fielders, by this running between the wickets. It's enough pressure that the runs are coming at an excellent rate. Now the fielders have got to be on their toes.
It's a strategy you can use on these big boundaries because a lot of time the fielders are off the boundary rope because they're looking to stop those twos, but they've also got to think about the boundary, so you can almost manipulate them if you're a good enough batsman.
bowlers after it. Marsh wanted the second, and Warner actually said no. Just a little bit of extra bounce there from Santner. He was forced to do the fielding of his own bowling. They didn't want another two.
GL, I can call him that, played with him. Always been really, really amiable to us. There's that flight and that change of pace and spin from Santner.
Something on offer for the spinners, that is for sure. Might want to keep Marsh possibly on strike as long as possible, but even to Marsh, he's scoring runs off the spinners as well. This puts New Zealand in a pretty tough position. The halfway stage, 172 that New Zealand made, looked pretty good. Right now, Australia are well on their way to their first men's title in the T20 World Cup. It's halfway, 82 for 1. At the same stage, New Zealand were 57 for 1. It's time for a drinks break.
একটা ঠান্ডা একদম চাঙ্গা বিকাশে ক্যাশ আউট চার্জ কমছে আর সেন্ট মানি তো ফ্রি
পকেটে কি
একটা ঠান্ডা একদম চাঙ্গা
পকেটে কি
4-4. Announced himself in some style, did Mitch Marsh, and then David Warner took over. And they've taken the partnership, these two, to 67 of just 45 balls. Given their side a very, very good chance indeed. Almost halfway at the 10-over mark with 9 wickets in hand. And that's a very, very good position to be in for Australia. New Zealand made 115 in the back 10 now. David Warner is catching up with Babar Azam. Just needs another 22 to be the leading run getter. There's a bit of a question mark in the eyes of some over David Warner, but he's answered that in fairly dramatic style. Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, between them 1 and 2. Right, 91 of 60. Where does New Zealand go from there? Bull, Saudi, Milne, Sodhi, Sandner. They've tried 5, and I think they're going in with their 6th now in Jimmy Neesham. (30 of 20 Marsh, 45 of 33 Warner. Next to me, Danny Morrison. What do you make of the situation?
Yeah, those in yellow, the big smiles on the faces, because 67, the partnership from 45. From a New Zealand perspective, it's simple. They've got to knock these two over very quickly. And is the golden arm Jimmy Neesham, is he the man to do it here tonight on this big stage? It's one of those guys that just does it. It's wickets at key moments in T20. And then he's also, with his batting, certainly remember that semi-final just a few nights ago. So He'd be confident about things. Can he do it?
We had to do a little bio of Jimmy Neesham. You'd say brave hitter, good change bowler, outstanding on social media.
Modern vernacular, he's an interesting cat. Different, but a lot of us are, Asha Bogdan.
If he can go 6-7 and over, even 8 and over, he'd have done a really good job here. But as he started well, he hasn't. It's gone for 6. Mitch Marsh is seeing the ball very quickly and is bludgeoning it.
Absolutely fatted. This one. Caught up with it and got all of it and some. Such a good feeling straight after a drinks break to get one there in that arc of Mitch Marsh.
I'm just trying to see why he's felt like going to Neesham. His spinners, Sodhi and Santner, 39 of 4 overs. He needs a little bit of support, mainly for Sodhi. Didn't get a run, but it's sounding good on the bat. Oh, it's 6 of the first ball. You've got 10 for the taking there.
Mentioned confidence in terms of Neesham in recent matches, but you look at Marsh here tonight. Oh, 36 from 22, 3 and 2, 3 maximums, 2-4, striking at 163, doing one heck of a job here for the Australians.
Birdman has come up inside the circle, deep mid-wickets, drop back.
The field set for those sort of cutters into the surface that hold a little in the pitch. Be very careful about that length you bowl. A couple of old Indian legends in the house. A few characters here. The Ring of Fire for this T20 World Cup final.
82 for 1, highest total by any side after 10 overs in a World Cup final. But also, how good has Marsh been? Hit a 6 of the first ball he's faced from each of the 3 bowlers. Oh, that sounded stunning. And it's gone as long as it seemed it would when you heard the sound. 50 comes up of 34 balls. David Warner's signing himself on this match.
Got 49 in the semi-final, and he is doing it so comfortably here. Answering the call, answering the critics. And it wasn't that long ago in the IPL he was struggling so badly they had to leave him out of the side of SRH. Absolutely tremendous for those in green and gold.
Little alarm bell starting to ring here for New Zealand. 78 of 56. Required rates 8.36. In the beginning was 8.65. So they've negated that. 13 already. And that's the thing, when you get 6 of the first over so often, as I said, you think 10, right, I can easily get 10 here. But if you've got the opportunity, as Warner has here, you can make it even bigger.
I mentioned the golden arm of Jimmy Neesham, and it's straight after a drinks break. And I think part of that reason, in terms of stats and matchups and all those sort of things you get in T20, so often a wicket falls after the drinks break.
It does actually, and happens too often for it to be a coincidence. Excellent over. 15 from it for Australia, that is. It's 97 for 1. They're enjoying themselves in the crowd. We've got a really good crowd here today. It doesn't matter if your team's not playing, you can still wear the jersey and come and celebrate.
It's the global village thing here, isn't it? Dubai, and I think there is that lovely thing to go and visit, isn't it? It's called Global Village. It's down the road here in Dubai. Attraction.
Right, Santner. Get a single. He was just sitting there like he wanted to cut a few trees. He was just sitting there ready. Was Mitch Marsh. 39 of 25. So often you see Mitch Marsh and you see sheer ability there, and you wonder, is this the real coming of Mitch Marsh? His career has been plagued by injuries, but you really wish him well because such a wonderful striker for cricket ball. Okay, now Santner to the left-hander. So far, he's gone okay.
I just mentioned Jimmy Neesham straight after a drinks break. Well, this too is so key for those in black. Santner simply has to get rid of either one, break the partnership, and ideally strangle a little bit, create some more pressure, get that asking rate a bit more, and get another wicket.
Has he? No, probably just on the bounce. This Phillips there, I think he's actually done a magnificent job of actually getting there. Even as 100 comes up, he's magnificent in the deep.
Man is an electric spark. Not the greatest delivery going around. Look at this. Has he got there? Has he got there on the half volley? And great commitment. So quick across the turf, but yeah, clearly bounced. But what a great effort.
And you can feel like that in the deep. Why on earth would anyone stick the gloves on you and make you stand behind the stumps? Has he got rid of them completely?
Yeah, biff those. Could have had enough of that. Time to move on. Yeah, right in the outfield. Of course, he's trying to develop his off-spin. Glenn Phillips, that is. Let's see how he goes in terms of that progress.
Where do you stand on these matchups? He's done a really good job, Santner, so far. None for 18, 2.4. Wasn't used against Najib, wasn't used against Moeen.
The simple glaring fact, Harsha, is that you need to get a wicket. It's as simple as that. Have to halt this partnership sooner rather than later from the fielding side.
Yeah, will also produce 3 or 4 dot balls, which should make a difference. Oh, he says clobber that. That is just brute force and nothing else. Sat back and hit the ball like he hated it.
Not going to get people out there. Another simple fact. Drag down. And that is just far too easy to be smashed away here by Mitch Marsh.
He's playing a game-changing innings here. Marsh, 44 of 27. Yeah, you can see the grim face. He's not always smiling, but at the moment he's very grim. 9 of the over, 12 gone. It's 106 now for 1.
বিকাশে খরচ কমছে, ক্যাশ আউট 1014 টাকা 90 পয়সা।
আমাদের বেকম্যানদেরও আছে কিছু সুপার পাওয়ার, বেস্ট ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস, বেস্ট অটোমেটেড মেশিন। উদ্দেশ্য একটাই, ঘরে ঘরে এমন অসাধারণ কিছু মুহূর্ত তৈরি করা। ইটস আ বেকম্যানস ক্রিয়েশন। পকেটে কি?
Right, yellow's found its own path, hasn't it? Gray was doing well, in fact had a fantastic slope up towards the end. 115 came of the last 10. But Australia playing themselves into a position where they don't need that much. Just 8.4 and over with wickets in hand. Where does he go? Back to Trent Boult.
100%. I think he's had to, given what's happened in these middle overs that haven't produced a wicket and not being able to create some pressure by bowling a lot more dot deliveries New Zealand.
Look at those numbers. What does Williamson do now? He's got 2 overs between Sodhi, Neesham and Santner. Essentially, he's telling Trent Boult, give me a wicket. Let me slip an over in somewhere. Give me a wicket. And while we are at the cricket, the ICC talking about mental health challenges can be hard, which we know in association with UNICEF, of course. Check out conversation starters, #OnMyMind, uni.cf/onmymind, breaking the stigma around mental health. And I am so happy that more and more people are talking about it. For too long, we just try to bury it, try to live with it. Oh, he's got the wicket he wanted. Give me one, said Ken Williamson to Trent Boult. Here, my captain, he said, here is what you wanted. It's a huge one. Warner's playing a fine innings, but he's gone.
Trent Boult, when he knocked the poles over, he did a Shane Warne from 1999. Can't forget that, where he's yelled out to his teammates, come on, let's list ourselves. Very pumped. It's the key wicket of Warner, gone for 53, and the Aussies finally lose another wicket. It's 2 for 107.
ডেলিভারি নেয়ার পরই লাইফ বয় হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ দিয়ে হাত ধুয়ে থাকুন, সুরক্ষায় 10-এ 10।
দাঁতের শিরশির অনুভূতি থেকে আরাম পেতে ডেন্টিস্টরা সেন্সোডাইন ব্যবহারের পরামর্শ দেন।
ওরে জাগা, একটা ঠান্ডা দে না।
একটা ঠান্ডা একদম চাঙ্গা।
Right in at number 4 is Glenn Maxwell. Right, this tournament is yet to say I'm Glenn Maxwell and I'm a good player. 66 from 46. It's just not been himself in this tournament, Glenn Maxwell.
No, it's an interesting turnaround when you look at it, because he wasn't great for the IPL in recent years, but he was good for Australia. Now he's struggling for Australia when he had a great IPL, and this is a great delivery that just skids through. Ambitious by Warner, given that it's Trent Boult, and he knows what Bolt's capable of and what Boult tries to do. A great time for New Zealand to get a wicket. Yeah, contest on here, big time. And that's what you love about the contest, particularly when you've got neighbours, rivals, cousins from across the Tasman. And it is all on.
And Danny Morrison, they keep visiting each other down there, as I know somebody who did, former New Zealand fast bowler.
Yeah, and I know we're getting a bit of grief back in Australia, saying it's about time to get another wicket. Having another one, Australia.
Get off the mark. Really, it's up to Marsh to pick it up from here. Maxwell, last 11 innings, he's gone past 18 only once. At the moment, he needs a quick 20, a quick 25 here. 25-20, a quick innings would do for Australia, actually.
Or as you just said, struggle to get past 18, Harsha. A little kiss of something.
This game might have tilted Australia's way, but that last wicket has just evened things a little bit. What an over. 3 runs and a wicket. Just what the doctor ordered. 109 for 2.
ডেলিভারি নেয়ার পরই লাইফ বয় হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ দিয়ে হাত ধুয়ে থাকুন, সুরক্ষায় 10-এ 10।
দাঁতের শিরশির অনুভূতি থেকে আরাম পেতে ডেন্টিস্টরা সেন্সোডাইন ব্যবহারের পরামর্শ দেন।
ওরে জাগা, একটা ঠান্ডা দে না।
একটা ঠান্ডা একদম চাঙ্গা।
Or 42. They've got a lot of batting left. Still got Stoinis, still got Wade, those two that have won them 2 matches in this tournament in a chase. Then of course Steve Smith. He's quickly gone back to Sodhi. It's down with a wide. he realizes he needs to slip these overs in. He's a bit hamstrung here at the moment with options. Is Williamson, so he's gone back to Sodhi at the first possible opportunity. This is big. It's big for this man on screen. Because somehow he's got to give himself an uppercut and get right into this final. Not only go for no runs, but try and get Mitch Marsh out. He's connected that as well as anybody in the game ever has. What a game-changing half-century this is for Mitch Marsh. Fastest 50 in a World Cup final, come off 31 balls. He's just got this great talent to hit the ball long. Man, is he good to watch. What a joy. Mitch Marsh. A lot of us have had the good fortune to have been at the IPL, and when he hasn't been struggling with his fitness, this is what he's about, and this is why franchise cricket around the globe buy this man. Oh, please, skipper. First time two players have scored 50s in a team innings in a World Cup final. That's in the gap too. That's in the gap too. It's pushed back. They'll come back for two. Just timing the ball so well. This wasn't the best, and yet it was traveling very quickly across the turf.
Yeah, Williamson's 50 came off 32, so he didn't hold that record for long in a final. Marsh is in a hurry. So was Guptill there. Did well.
Oh, is that dragged down too easy. One bounce into the boundary for four. It's not happening today. Sodhi's been so good for New Zealand in this tournament. Just struggling today.
Oh dear. For Sodhi, this is another half tracker. Just dragged it down badly. Even though one end comes off the bat, it is just on a silver salver for Mitch Marsh.
Oh dear for Ken Williamson as well. He thought he was slipping an over in there. Probably thinking, should I have gone to Southie for one more? Should I have gone to Milne for one more? 13 of this. 14 of this with 3 balls left. What's the word for it? Yips. He just wants to get this over done, Sodhi. And it's sad, isn't it, Danny? Because he's been so good in this tournament.
He's been so good for a number of years in this form of the game for the Black Caps. Time just to slip up. Key stage in your career.
Excellent. Good recovery from Sodhi.
It's just, this is what it's about for Marsh in Australia. Getting him to come in at 3. It's a bit like how Daryl Mitchell has come up to open. Funnily enough, high school days in Perth. This guy grew up full-time in Perth. And Daryl Mitchell in his last few years at high school in Perth. Yeah, it's just a bit of nerves around for sure. Big occasion. Just can't quite get it together.
Captain Kane's come across to have a word.
Well, they've played a lot together. First-class cricket. Stuff for New Zealand. Williamson and Sodhi, that is.
Daryl Mitchell, Marcus Stoinis played a lot together. 18-year-old in Scarborough up in Perth. Right, 49 of 37. And a 9-ball over that got 16 finally comes to an end. It's 125 for 2.
ঠান্ডা একদম চাঙ্গা বিকাশে ক্যাশ আউট চার্জ কমছে আর সেন্ড মানি তো ফ্রি
পকেটে কি
just a glimmer of hope, a little toe in the door when Warner got out. This partnership 18 of 13 already after that excellent over from Trent Bolt. What does he do now? He's gone back to Milne. He's got 6 overs, but he can't wait. He can't distribute those 6 like he normally would because he's only got 48 in the bank.
Need a couple of gem overs here. This is what they're discussing here. Southey, who's captain New Zealand in this form of the game, when Williamson's been out injured or having a bit of a break. So a little mini conference together between the three, Milne included. And this is where you've had Bolt come in and produce a piece of magic. You need Milne here now to either rattle the stumps or definitely try and get rid of Marsh to get back in the contest.
Quite interesting field. 4 fielders inside the circle on the offside, nobody on the on. Good first ball.
He does that, Milne. I watched a bit of him in the 100 in the UK, the English summer, and he does it. That angle back into right-handers, he shuts it down, and often guys can chop on. Catching up with you a little later, sir.
Darren Gunga. Now he's got all of that. He's found the fielder just short. One of those days. It was flat, and that's why it was difficult to come to where the ball was.
That man, with those brilliant hands of his, Daryl Mitchell. Another night, it just goes a bit further and carries to the fielder. Well short in the end. Yeah, bowler. Cruel game.
It's only a harsh examiner would give you negative marks for that. It fell well short. Another one, but this time it's in the gap. Oh, well, it's in the gap. Who would have thought when he played that shot that he would, like a surgeon, find the space in between?
Well, to be fair, it's one of his go-tos. He's so talented all around the clock. We know what he does with reverse sweeps and pulls, even off the quick men. Maxwell is just so unique when he's in the groove and in a confident vein of form. He's so hard to stop.
Lovely, precise incision. Oh, well, sometimes you get boundaries like the previous one, and sometimes you get them like this, but they hurt just as much for the bowler.
Yeah, pace on, can be your undoing. A little unlucky because the line's not bad, and it's a good height in a way. Just maybe a fraction higher. That's all it is. A little less wood on the blade, and now another occasion goes through the keeper. This time, luck for Maxwell.
Something big to happen to them now, to New Zealand. It's a slow ball. But the runs and balls equation is so hopelessly skewed in favor of Australia at the moment. Yeah, that's all right. Good to see you got a smile in the end. Oh, how the expressions change.
It's just a game, Harsha. Just a game.
Are you coming down to saying that?
No. Still in it. You never, ever say die.
Shane Watson spearing always, you said that.
A lovely face of Shane Watson.
He's going to have to bowl that again. This is another expensive over. New Zealand can ill afford it. 10 off it so far with the ball left.
So chuckling away here. Some of us in the comm box, a bit of rivalry and fun. But, well, can he make up? It's gone for 10. Rattle.
বলের বাইরের অংশে লেগে চলে গেল ব্যাকওয়ার্ড পয়েন্ট অঞ্চলে ফিল্ডিং করে বল ফেরত পাঠালেন একটি রান 15 ওভারের খেলা শেষ এখন আসলে দুদিক থেকে সার্জিক্যাল অপারেশন করা দরকার কিন্তু সেরকম সার্জিক্যাল অপারেশন করার মতো বা সেরকম সার্জেন্ট বোলার কিন্তু নিউজিল্যান্ড দলে
ডেলিভারি নেওয়ার পরই লাইফ বয় হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ দিয়ে হাত ধুয়ে থাকুন সুরক্ষায় 10-এ 10।
বিকাশে খরচ কমছে, ক্যাশ আউট 1014 টাকা 90 পয়সা।
Tim Southey, 37 from 30 required. Australia in control. And even more so now with that boundary to Maxwell.
Things are going the Australians' way now. Just those missed hits are falling just short of the fielders. A couple little outside edges as well. All going the Australians' way, taking the game on. The very brave cricket from Mitchell Marsh in particular.
Wide from Southey. Yeah, you earn that slice of luck though, Watto. Williamson had it. From a New Zealand point of view, Australians have earned it. They've taken the game on. They have not stood back, even losing the skipper early. They have continued to go hard. Mitch Marsh has played an absolute gem.
Mitch Marsh, this has been one of the best T20 innings that I've seen.
He swung away high in the air and all the way as well over the head of each Sodi into the boundary for 6.
When Maxwell, he set his sights now to go hard. Standing inside the line, using the angle, using the length to pick it up. Maxwell's intentions are very clear now. He's trying to finish this as quick as he can.
And that's exactly what you want from these power-packed players. It just takes a 15, 20 off 8, 9, 10 balls now. Don't let it go deep. And again, he's tried, but just doesn't quite get the timing right on this occasion.
Mitchell Marsh, just to be able to come out from ball 1, to be able to be facing Mill, who's bowling fast, to have the energy, the aggression from ball 1, to be able to hit a 6 off your hip, and then the next 2 balls, boundary. This tournament, yes, he's been very good for Australia in the last 6 months of T20 cricket, but this innings alone is the making of him.
It's too high, won't pick up a leg by. Yeah, over 600 runs now in T20 internationals this year. A three has been a revelation. It's given him that responsibility. They've always thought highly of Mitch Marsh as far as his talent is concerned. He's been plagued with injuries, unfortunately, but also his cricket now. He captained the Australian under-19 side in New Zealand 2011. So he's always been highly thought of as a cricketer, as an intelligent cricketer. But just unfortunately he's missed way too many games through injuries. Let's hope for his sake and for Australia's sake this is his time. It's too good a player to miss out on a lot of games.
And tonight just showed Mitchell Marsh's skill as a batsman. And just, there's not too many batsmen in the world who've got natural power like he does. He just stands dead still and hits a ball incredibly hard with a conventional cricket shot. And then combine that with a really sound technique and then his mindset. From game 1 against South Africa, he showed his aggressive intent from ball 1. And his skill can back that up. Really is incredible.
Big unit. What do they call him? What did Dale Steyn call him the other day? Bison. The Bison. Rightly so. The shoulders just morph into the neck, don't they? There's some power there. And it's been all on show tonight. He's so good. First of all, that partnership with David Warner took the score from 15 through to 107. Now with Maxwell. Dot to finish, 4 to go. It's 149 for 2.
শীর্ষের অনুভূতিকে দ্রুত হার মানান সেন্সোডাইন র্যাপিড রিলিফের সঙ্গে।
বিকাশে ক্যাশ আউট চার্জ কমছে আর সেন্ড মানি তো ফ্রি।
পকেটে কি?
Always got time for a chat, Aaron Finch. I find he's a champion human being. Always got a smile on his face. Great camaraderie between he and Kane Williamson. These two sides have played this game and the whole tournament in wonderful spirit as well. That continues to grow.
It's great to see everyone having a very good time here at the Dubai International Stadium, enjoying the cricket that's been on display. Kane Williamson was outstanding with the bat.
Last throw of the dice, Trent Bolt back. And Williamson searching for a couple of wickets. I'm sure Australia will understand why Bolt's back and maybe be a little bit conservative.
David Warner. There was question marks at the start of the tournament from a few people, but in the inner sanctum, no question marks about Dave Warner. 1 or 2 balls, just flick the switch early in the tournament, and then to be able to be brave like he was in a final.
In the gap, out towards mid-wicket, into the boundary, skids across the turf for 4 more. The power of Marsh on show again.
You could hear through the stump like Mitchell Marsh, the grunt to the power through the ball. Saw the change of pace, slapped it into the gap. It's incredible how many times when you've got this energy, when you've got this aggression, how the ball just keeps going to the gap like it has for Mitchell Marsh tonight. And as a batsman, that's the place you're always trying to chase. That space where you've got total freedom in your mind, fearless approach to taking on the game, and then subconsciously just automatically place the ball without even thinking about it, just falls into the gap. And that's what you're trying to chase every time you go out to bat. And Mitch Marsh tonight, from ball 1, was there. That's in a final, to be able to have that, just flick that switch from ball 1. It's very special.
Yeah, clarity, isn't it? Clarity of mind, clarity in your position, security in and around how you are in the team as well. Slower one from Bolt. That's very well bowled. He needs a new bat though, Mitch Marsh. Broke the bottom corner of that bat last delivery. It's been a special innings from him. Bowled the 1 over. Kane Williamson just took to him a little bit late in that over, but he offers you so much. He too has great hands in the field. So he's a wonderful player. Maybe this is the turning of the corner for his career in the last 2, 3, 4 months. Wide.
Yes, the Mitchell Marsh, back home in Australia, the public are one side or the other with Mitch Marsh. And the interesting thing is, because of his injuries in particular, hasn't had a consistent run all the time, but people really didn't understand. The public didn't really understand the true skill that Mitch Marsh has got. And now they certainly will know. Under pressure, to be able to perform like he has. Just at the wrong time, someone walks behind the side screen. Tell you what, as a batsman, that is very frustrating. And for Trent Bolt, frustrating. Just moving on to Trent Bolt, how good has he been tonight and throughout the tournament? But to be able to go 16, 2 for 16, he's bowled absolutely beautiful. He's really stood up tonight.
It's a real tribute to how much he's worked as well. And his T20 bowling in particular, he's one of the go-to men in franchise cricket. Slight collision again. You just see the camaraderie between these two sides. Little moment there between Maxwell. He's watching the ball and just runs straight into Bolt. Plays on it a little bit, I think, Trent Bolt, but it's all okay. They can have a laugh now.
Trent's always a pretty excitable character as well. It's great to see just the camaraderie, and a big part of that comes down to, especially in the IPL, a lot of the guys either play together or you know friends who play with different opposition. So you always find a way, and there's someone walking behind the side screen again, but that's okay. He's just snuck in behind.
Last ball of the Trent Bolt spell. Takes one, no, he puts it down. There's a chance. Slower ball, just chipped back to Bolt. He'd be disappointed, but it's a great spell. 14 from 18 required, 159 for 2.
বিকাশে খরচ কমছে, ক্যাশ আউট 1014 টাকা 90 পয়সা।
আমাদের বেকমেন্ডারও আছে কিছু সুপার পাওয়ার, বেস্ট ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস, বেস্ট অটোমেটিক মেশিন, উদ্দেশ্য একটাই, ঘরে ঘরে এমন অসাধারণ কিছু মুহূর্ত তৈরি করা। ইটস আ বেকম্যানস ক্রিয়েশন।
Finished on a high.
It's hard not to keep going back to Mitchell Marsh, because it's so beautiful to be able to see someone. There's been question marks around him for a while now, not internally, not within the group, but to see him stand up so tall in this tournament that's been so elusive for Australia. The T20 World Cup, Australia's never really been able to find their feet at T20 cricket. But things have come, the pieces of the puzzle to come together beautifully, and Mitchell Marsh has been one of those really big pieces.
Yeah, and that man we just had on screen, I think, has been the key, the glue for this Australian side. 2 for 21, 2 for 12, 1 for 37, 5 for 19, 1 for 20, 1 for 22, 1 for 26. Player of the tournament, hands down. Adam Zampa.
Zampa has been absolutely outstanding. It'll be very close between him and maybe a couple others for the player of the tournament. There's been some standouts, but he's been outstanding. Trent Bolt, he really, what a great competitor he is. Miss-hit. To be able to take a catch off your own bowling through your follow-throughs. Very difficult. 0.56 in a second. You don't have much time to move there at all. Trent Bolt, what a competitor. He continues just to stand up time and time and time again for New Zealand. There's no secrets why New Zealand have been so dominant and so consistent for a long period of time. He's the man.
Yeah, all three formats as well. I said it earlier, as ICC ranking at number 40 or 41 with the ball is there because he hasn't played a lot of T20 cricket for New Zealand. They tend to rest him in the big, or in the bilateral games against other countries because the test matches and the 50-over stuff is so important, but he's been brilliant throughout this tournament. Another slower one from Milne. Played well, but they've met a better side tonight, I think, New Zealand. No dew, cannot say a thing about that. It's been great conditions. The surface has played really well. Saw an exhibition from that man with the bat. We've seen an exhibition from Warner and from Mitchell Marsh. Just short of Tim Southey.
And Dave Warner has been just, to be able to see one or two balls where you could see his body language, his energy at the crease just change. And from that moment on, everything disappeared. His miss-hits had just fallen short. That's the day for the Aussies at the moment. But Dave Warner, to be able to turn it on like he has after the challenging time that he had in and around the IPL, Sunrisers, shown his class.
Away. There is protection out there. Well, you just knew, you had to feel it was coming. Too good a player to have that sort of time in it. Franchise competition, and gets back to a more settled environment where he feels comfortable, where he's got the back end of his team and his teammates, and they know he's a match winner and know he's an absolute match winner. Davey, just go and do what you do and we'll be okay.
It's amazing how the backing of your team just plays into your mindset when you go out into bat, and that's why team environment is so critical, to back your players. So when you go out to play, you know that everyone got everyone behind you.
Southey's moved to long off, so it'll just be the one. Couple to go, and 11 required.
Roasted peanut আর pure বাটারের unbeatable স্বাদে পেলামে peanut bite cookies, প্রতি বাইটে স্বাদের ম্যাজিক।
দেশের একমাত্র 100% পিওর ভ্যাসলিন পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলি, ত্বকের যত্নে মায়ের স্পর্শের মতোই বিশুদ্ধ।
পকেটে কি?
11 from 12 required. There he is again, our man in the shirt. He had a good night. A little bit of Australian gold in there somewhere. Has he hit that well enough? I don't think so, but it's going to evade Jimmy Neesham and into the boundary for 4.
The desperation from Jimmy Neesham. What a great effort out there. And this is just when you take the game on, like he has Mitchell Marsh, his miss hits falling into the gap just, and then the ones that he gets clean flying to the boundary. These are the days as a cricketer, as a batsman, that you dream of. Your best shots fly through, fly to the boundary. The ones you slightly get wrong, just short. These days don't always come along, but geez, you've got to make the most of it and enjoy every moment of it.
Absolutely. That many bad days in your career, you make the most of the good ones. Remember them. Bet your bottom dollar these gentlemen will. And the call is for 2, not well timed, and it should be. Maxwell says no, let's not risk it.
It's amazing how quickly people can start to ask questions about incredibly talented cricketers. And there's a lot of questions asked, even back home in the Australian media, about Dave Warner. You don't lose your skill. There's certain things that might be getting in the way of your mindset, or just you're slightly underprepared. You slightly haven't had the lead-in that you need, a little bit underdone. But you can never, ever, ever question the skill of champion players. They always find a way to get back to their best, and Dave Warner, I'm so pumped for him to be able to make his mark like he has and give Australia the chance to win this elusive title.
Maxwell wants 2 now, but not. Same result, just the 1.
Glenn Maxwell, he wants to be the one who hits the winning run. It's to be that highlight that everyone sees. I was batting with Steve Smith, 2015 World Cup. I had an opportunity to be able to hit the winning runs, and I fluffed one off my pads to mid-wicket. I was shattered. One opportunity, that highlight that you hope to be a part of, and then Steve Smith just peeled it off, and that was it.
You'll forever be the bloke at the other end. Hard again, straight to Neesham. Not a bad place to be, though, Shane Watson. I can imagine not a bad place to be.
Aaron Finch led the team so well, galvanised the team when there were some questions being asked about the environment, about the team. This is another testament to Aaron Finch and Justin Langer and what they've been able to do to work through what they've had.
Maxwell looks to finish it, and he might have done it as well. 5 times 50 over men's World Cup champions, a team that can never ever be written off, and have finally got their hands on a men's T20 World Cup trophy, and it is richly deserved. Improved with every game, have Australia. They are now a champion team.
The Aussies! Glenn Maxwell finishes off with a switch it too! Mitchell Marsh, the Aussies. The elusive tie back to Australia. Back to Australia.
Brilliantly captain. Aaron Finch throughout the tournament has done a superb job with this Australian side. Not many believed at the start of the tournament. Maybe not many even back in Australia. But as each game came and went, they got better. Different players stood up tonight. That man, how much does it mean to him? He's been through so much heartache on the cricket field, with injuries off the cricket field, and that embrace there. A couple of Western Australians. David Warner has been superb. Support staff, players who have been left on the sidelines without a game as well. They rejoice. So many contributions throughout this tournament from Australia. And they will bask in this as they should. New Zealand have made a great contest of it, but